Welcome back to PJChenDesign. This is PJ. A lot of people asking me why the CAD model looks so machine-made. Today, I would like to show you how to add a little human touch on a piece of jewelry with the Rhino 3D software. Are you ready? Let's get started. In order to make a model more look like the old piece, we need to study this old piece first. If it is a round one, but because of the time or because the time of the equipment to make this piece by stamping, you're gonna notice like they are not really evenly high. At the same time, the edges may not be super sharp. A lot of time when we are building a model, something like this, it's going to be really sharp edges and things like that. So after you casting, especially after you polish, it doesn't look like the old piece. So today I would like to show you how to make it more like a beat up pieces and to match more of the old look. So that's starting from the scratch. We are going to use the command code picture, and we're going to bring in the picture that we found for us to do the design on the top of it. And I would like to always to scale it down to whatever size that you want, since we are not gonna print this out, just showing you the technique. So I'm okay with any size, but I would like to use the move command to move it from close to the center of this piece and just move it to the 0. So we can have a center of the circle as a 0. So that's starting drawing the first circle to see how it goes. If you go like this and with the circle, notice that it may not be 100% matches. It's because this piece might be taking the picture with the angle. So that may not be 100% match, but that's okay. We're going to get it as close as possible. Now we have this piece. It's really bright, so we can pick up the piece coming into the object right here, and then we want to lower down the opacity to around half of it. So as long as we can see the piece, that would be fine. And let's go ahead to lock it. Once we lock it, then we are going to try to make it similar by drawing a bunch of circles. So I'm going to draw a circle right in the middle. This is where the center piece, as you can see, is really off, but that's okay because the picture was taken in the angle. And I also wanted to have a reference line right there to showing that this is where the first bump there. And we're going to do another, all of this are going to be the reference line. And then I'm going to have a really last one of the circle, and it's going to go here. Okay, so now I'm going to drop a few dots right here so I can see in the perspective view. One here, one here, one here, one here, and those are the bump. Okay, so let's take a look on the perspective, or we can take a look on our front view. We're going to starting with the profile. I would like to start it with the 0, and then I'm gonna coming over. Those are the ground, and when I close to this point right here, and I'm going to do my first bump, and it's going to look something like this. All right, and then I'm going to continue it, and then coming into my second bump, I'm gonna go do a little bit higher and coming over like this. And in fact, I want them to be a little bit longer, and then so that way we have enough to trim. Now when I'm looking at this piece on my front view, notice that everything snapping crazy is because it's snapping to the edge of this picture right here. Right, so what we wanted to do is come to the front view. Remember, it has to be in the front view. In this case, we want to use projected to the C plane, and we want to delete the input. Really quickly, you're going to see this line. It's coming to the construction plane. All right, so double make sure if this is too high, too low, or if you want to adjust them. Now you can do so. All right, so now if this is what you're looking for, we're going to creating a surface by using the commands called revolve. This curve, it's going to use the center as a 0, and we want to revolve it axis holding the shift, click anywhere, top and the bottom, or the bottom, and then we can do 360 degree. So really quickly, we're going to get this really nice ring over there. Okay, so now as we finish that, we are going to, let me lock this one as well, and we are going to create a cross there. The cross that we have, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. In fact, you can alter it once we've done this step. So I'm going to do my first one. It's come over something look like this. And again, it is an OP, so they don't have to be symmetrical because it's being, you know, after years of using it. And then you can adjust it to see if that is something that you like. All right, once you have this, we need to creating a cross section. So I simply going to creating a rectangle, and we want to use the 3 points. So that's the first point, that's the second point, and I just need to coming into the side view and see how tall I want this piece to be. All right, now we have this piece. We actually don't need the one on the bottom, so I'm going to explode it and I'm going to delete the one on the bottom. With this one, I'm going to join back. And the old piece is not that sharp, so after we join, we can rebuild this piece back into one curve there. All right, so I'm going to turn into the ghost view, as it will be easier for you to see. Now, if we are going to creating a surface with those two curves, we will need to split this curve by the point and somewhere about here. Let's take a look on the surface. If it is done by sweep to rail, you're going to have rail 1, rail 2, cross section right here, and you're gonna end up something like this. Notice that maintain high, it's not going to changing anything. It's because it is coming into the point. If you do want them to maintain the high, you can delete this surface, and I do want to move it this one out a little bit. As long as you have a tiny hole, that will work, right? So let's do it one more time. We are going to use a sweep to rail. You got rail 1, you got rail 2, you got cross section right here, and then if you click on maintain high, it will maintain this height over there. All right, so it's up to you if you want to maintain height or not. I'm going to click OK right there, and that will be my first one. Notice that this is a single curve, so we can rebuild it to rebuild into more point count or less point count. Let's say I may want to have U to be 20 and V to be 20. So we get something like that, or maybe 20 is too much, 10. And then so now I have this after rebuild, and I can still, you know, pull the control point. I certainly need to go in or coming out or things, or make it a little bit uneven. Like we have a gem there. It may not affect too much, but actually like would like to them is not a gem over here. So with all of this right here, I actually want them to be aligned, so I'm just going to use the Gumball 1D scale, type it 0, and just move it up a little bit, something like this. Okay, and maybe I can also move them in, so I'm going to turn into the wireframe. It's easier for me to pick up those points, and those points want to go in a little bit, something like this. All right, so you can do your adjustment if you like to make it more like a bumpy surface. All right, so once we have that, we are going to use a polar array. Snapping into the 0, I would like to have four of them, and for 360 degree, and then we'll have something like this, right? You can make one that's slightly bigger, tilted it if that fitting into the profile better. The other one, you can simply just turn on the control point, and you can continue to edit. If that's too many points for you to edit, always you can rebuild the surface and to make it last point. So let's say I want to have 10 here, I want to have 8 here, and let's click OK. So now I have last point, and so I can drag it easier like this way. All right, so you kind of edit into the shape that you like and tilt it and scale with Gumball. So let's take a look on the render view. So we'll have something like that. Notice that there's some bump here and there. You will need to adjust. It's a demo right here. I'm going to stop tweaking. All right, so the next things that we can do is I need to drop a ball right in the middle. So I'm going to use the sphere, type it 0, and for whatever the proper size. And then we also going to take a look on the perspective view. Coming smaller, maybe something like this. And take a look if that is the right place. If not, moving your object with the Gumball to find the right position for you. So something like this. All right, now if that look okay to you, we have a very last things to do is this B right here. So we're going to snapping into somewhere here about maybe this size. And then I wanted to do the polar array one more time. So let's do polar array, snapping into the 0. And maybe I want to have 22. Let's see how it goes. It's not too bad. All right. So then we have something like that. If it is a piece you're going to have a really crispy image, that will be it, right? But for us, we want to have a very old looking. All right. So what I like to do is to unlock this guy and just put it on the side for comparison. What I like to do is creating one single surface instead of have so many surfaces right there. And the way we are going to do is using the command drape, D-R-A-P-E. And then the drape also living under the icon, you can find the one look like this, like a ghost here, drape. What it does is, first of all, you may see it want you to auto space and you have a space 1 or higher. Currently is 5, and let's take a look what the 5 will do. I hit enter, and all you need to do is draw a rectangle on the top view of this piece. All right, so once you get something like this, you're going to notice that there's a surface on top of it. If we move the surface out to next one, you're going to see this is something, it's a little bit rounder on the edges, and then compared to this one, it's a very sharp. However, you do see that it's a little bit zigzag, like pixelated there, and that's because the resolution that we have. We can smooth this out by using the command, it's called smooth. So when you use the smooth command, you can choose to smooth only x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis. And I usually have all of them trimmed because I just want to have them evenly to be smoothed out. You can kind of play with it by making the number higher or lower, and then you can find whatever that you like. And once you like it, you click OK. Notice that we got it a little bit smoother over there. All right, you can also try, if you don't want it to have an auto spacing on your drape, I'm going to do a comparison by using the drape command. And then instead of an auto spacing, I do want it to control my U and V. So let's say I wanted to have my U to be finer. Let's say I want to have 140, enter, and V to be 140. U and V more like a X and Y, they are just the direction. And I want to drag it a square on top of my object. The finer that you have is going to take a longer time. But let's take a look on this one. Let's move it to the side and compare to the one that we have here. As you can see, it's more refined. And of course, you can set up 1,000, but you lose the point to try to make an old piece there. All right, so again, besides you can smooth it, you can also rebuild it to be, currently you have 140 and 140 as we set it up. I can change to maybe 100 to 100. That's another way to smooth things out. And you can preview it and then see if you like it. As you can see, the grid getting bigger, which means it will get smoother. All right, so then you have a two-way to smooth out. And up to you, like which way that you want, or after you can use the combination after rebuild, you can use the smooth command one more time, right? And then you can adjust the different height, different smoothness, and then you can click OK. All right, so now I think this one has got smooth too much, so I'm just going to delete it. Show you two ways for making them smoother, and once you like it, we're gonna coming into the front view, and I'm just gonna coming into this position and draw a straight line holding my shift, and something look like this. You can moving higher or lower, and all we need to do is just trim this one. So if we take a look on the top, after we trim it, it will be completely back to the circle, but it's not so perfectly round, which is what we're looking for. All right, so to close this one, you can use the cap command because we trim it really nicely, clean cut, and join those two surfaces. And after we join this, it looked really sharp right here. So we could, using the fitted edges, and do something really small like a 0.2 millimeter. And we just want to give it a little bit rounded edges on the bottom so it doesn't look like it's machining, it look like it's stamped it out. And after that, we can assign a material. So that will be the piece is more of close to the old piece that has a lot of the beating up. And after casting, you can add some scratch physically to make it look like an old piece. I would like to invite you to sign up my newsletter. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to send you more free tutorial with a lot of the trick and tips. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next.